Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Sigzak, and we have a fun Sunday in store for you. We've got a mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race number 5 today, $383,473. It's got to go today. I'm guarantee you well over $1 million in that pool today. I also want to let you know that we got a special holiday, a week of racing coming up. Oh, we got mandatory payouts. Besides that, in the Pick 5 and the Super High 5 today. So everything is a mandatory payout this afternoon. What I was talking about is our holiday schedule next week. You see, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're actually running on Tuesday this week. Those post 1 p.m., 4th of July, 12:45, and Summer Speed Day, Sunday, July 5th, 12:30 p.m. So lots of exciting things coming up here at Gulfstream Park. Katie, mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six.
Such an exciting day, especially since we've been able to make it through 24 programs without the Rainbow Six being hit. You do not need to be the lone single ticket holder to take down the Rainbow Six today. If you get 6 of 6 winners, or however many that there's the most of, it might be 5 of 6, you will take home a piece of the Rainbow Six, and that goes for all of the exotic wagers, also the Pick 5 and the Super High 5.
Yeah, so it's going to be a fun day of wagering. You know, before we take a look at Sunday's card, I want to take a look and see what's trending on Twitter around the country about horse racing today and what's going on.
Yeah, we have a great horse racing community here at Gulfstream, but thankfully the horse racing community is worldwide, nationwide, and a lot of really exciting things happening right now in this sport. Take a look at American Pharoah. He's certainly been the most exciting thing to happen to racing in, 37 years. And he is nominated for an ESPY Award for Best Championship Performance. The ESPY's recognizing all that is great in sports, in all sports. And American Pharoah up for championship performance. And also Victor Espinoza, along with Javier Castellano and Joel Rosario, are also up for top jockey.
Get your votes in there. And another great story about one of our friends here who trains right here during the championship season and right here during the summertime, Wesley Ward.
Wesley Ward keeps 2-year-olds here all year round. He's still got some at Palmettos and here at Gulfstream. He had a tremendous week at Royal Ascot, and Ray Pollock of the Pollock Report had a really great story on Wesley Ward recently that I think you should read. It's not just about his wins at Royal Ascot this year with Acapulco and Undrafted. It talks about how he found his niche in training 2-year-olds and having them ready early, and also about the first time he met the Queen was not when he just won the Diamond Jubilee with Undrafted. He met her before. They started talking about races, and she said to him, your horses go to the front. All of my horses are trained to come from behind me. He said, well, if they're in front, you're in front, they have to catch you. And she thought that was a great thing. So many great stories in there.
And on a sad note here, a compadre of ours, Simon Bray, was just diagnosed with cancer, multiple melanoma research. If you can donate, it would be pretty nice.
He has a very rare blood cancer. We wish him the absolute best. And they're starting a fundraising movement. TVG is going to match all donations to this foundation up to $10,000. So support this, and wishing him a speedy recovery. It's not a curable disease, but it's a treatable disease, so there's a good prognosis for him, and we wish him the best.
Yeah, we want to see him on the air real soon. Now we're going to delve into Sunday's card. Our first race today. By the way, the main track is fast. Turf course is listed as firm. The first race, 1 mile and 1/16th on the turf. Maiden claim is 3 and up, $12,500. We got 8 runners going to the post. We're going to go back and show you a performance of the horse I have on top of my ticket, and that is number 2, Majestic Z. Got bopped around a little bit.
He did get bopped around a little bit last time out, and he had some trouble here. You're going to see him. He's the 6th in the clear right now, but not for long. He gets completely bumped there, and he's thrown off his hind end, and unfortunately, the horse that interferes with him, he ends up finishing ahead of, but it opens the door for the horse on the inside to get the edge and get the win with a better trip. He should be better today. You have him right on top. I can see that. I put him on 2nd.
Yeah, and the horse that you have on top is probably the logical one on paper. I went with that little bit of a trouble call in there, and that's the one More Zen Ready.
Yeah, he finished a strong 2nd at this distance when dropping to this level last time out on June 12th and earned a career high and field best buyer of a 60. He's going to make his first start off the claim today for trainer Oscar Gonzalez.
Yeah, and we both used the number 4 in there. Malega must be respected. He could go up and dispute the pace versus the field. Where you look at the majority entrants in this race, they don't look like they want to come from off the pace. He can be up there and maybe steal this one on the front end. And we want to also let you know that you got to watch these turf races early on, see how the surface is playing today, so you can get your Rainbow 6 ticket, which we mentioned earlier, starts in race number 5. Let's go to the second 1 mile. Claim is 3 and up, $6,250. We'll have 7 going to the post. Katie and I both have the number 5, Keystone Cop, right on top of our ticket.
Well, he's looking for his 3rd straight win today for trainer David Casson. Drew off by more than 4 lengths last time out, going a mile and a 16th. He's finished 1st or 2nd in each of his last 5 starts. Never finished worse than 2nd at the distance, and he's 2 for 3 here at Gulfstream. He should sit the trip.
Yeah, I think he's the one to beat in there. The horse you have in 3rd, I have in 2nd. It's Rome Byrne, shortening up to this 1-turn mile after stalking 3 wide, finishing 2nd against this level of competition. Going a mile in the 16th, Mike Trombetta, Eddie Castro, inside post this afternoon. Just think he's a logical contender on there. Horse I did not use that you have in your ticket is the number 2 horse. I always like the name of this horse, Ludicrous Speed.
I think he's rounding back into the form that he showed this winter when he hit the board in 8 straight starts. He finished off the board going a mile and a 16th 2 back, but then he returned, cut back to this mile distance, and was a solid 3rd last time out.
Let's go to race 3, 5.5 furlongs. Claim is 3 and up. Non-winners of 3 races in life, $6,250. Clean slate, no jockey or changes or scratches to report in there. And Katie and I in agreement with our exactor, and that was at the number 2 Stone Jack. Now in the Ruben Moniz barn, this is a 4-year-old, makes his first start since drawing away with vigor to defeat 6,252 lifetime claimants. Going 6 furlongs, was back on March 8th. Colt has been working really nicely up at Palm Meadows, and that's the reason I put him on top of the ticket.
He's been working really well. What I like about him is that he's proven fresh. He's coming off 3 months rest, but his last victory came off 2 months rest, so I think this is going to be the perfect spot for him.
And we both have the number 1 Bellamy Chief in 2nd, is dropping to this 6,253 lifetime level, turning back to 5.5 furlongs. Showed speed last time out, winning one of his 2 races at 6 furlongs.
I think he might just have bounced last time out. He was a nice winner 2 starts back. Let's give him another chance today, and you got to like the connections of Tyler Gaffleone and Charles Asamakopoulos.
Yeah, and Tyler Gaffleone just waiting till Tuesday to be crowned the leading jockey of our spring-summer meeting thus far, the one that ends on Tuesday. So, Tyler Gaffleone, what do you have, 4 winners yesterday?
He had 4 winners, and he's leading the jockey standings by 23 wins. Congratulations to him. Looks like he's going to be our leading rider.
I closed it out with the 3 Shiva Curlin. Katie had the number 7 in there, Speed Trap in 3rd. So it looks like we got the logical exactor in there. We're going to flip the page and go to the penultimate race before the Rainbow 6. It's on the turf, 7.5 furlongs. Claim is 3 and up, $10,000. Once again, no scratches or jockey changes to report. And we have a little bit of a disagreement in here. I went with the 7 Pickett's corner on top. You went with the 1 Camarito.
Well, Peter Walder claimed this 4-year-old gelding out of a winning effort at the $12,500 level. Last time out on May 16th for Luch Racing. He has a field best buyer of an 80 from that race. I just thought he was really well spotted to face open company for the first time after defeating condition claimers last time out, and love the first off the claim angle for Walder. But Pickett's Corner, a really logical choice as well.
Yeah, I moved to the Aubrey Mirage Bond via the claim. Cuts back to 7.5 furlongs after, I thought last time, a sort of uncharacteristic 6th place finish on what is clearly his favorite turf course. He's had 9 races on here with 3 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. Jermaine Bridgman's going to ride today. So got to bounce back. So I could understand, putting Caminito on top of Pickett's Corner, but I'm going back. I'm going to forgive him that last race. But I'm getting an exacta box with these 2. Who else did you use on the ticket?
I threw in the 5, Helper Rye. He's going to return to the grass today. Got swung out 5 wide on the main track in his first start off the claim for trainer Oscar Gonzalez last time out, but 2 back, he finished what I thought was a really strong 4th on the turf course. He was only beaten a half length.
Well, we were talking about Wesley Ward a little earlier, and this one, the 3 Matars, stretching out around 2 turns after returning from the layoff to run consistently in a trio of 5 furlong sprints. Wesley Ward readying him for this longer distance with a bullet worker, half-mile drill. This one is going to be part of the pace scenario, and if you're not aware, at Gulfstream Park, 7.5 furlongs is around 2 turns here. We're going to go to the fifth race, and as we've been mentioning, mandatory payout. The Rainbow Six starts right here. It's a 6 furlong allowance optional claimer for 3-year-old fillies. The claiming level is $75,000. It's a real nice race. We both have the number 6 Sky Gold on top of our ticket, and let's go back and show you what he did to earn that spot.
Yeah, she hasn't run in a while. We're going to be seeing her for the first time since January. This was that start, which I thought was pretty impressive. It was just her second career start. She dueled on the front end and was pressured throughout by the Kieran McLaughlin trained Perchance, who was just impeccably bred. And Perchance is just going to get the edge over her, but Sky Gold was on the rail, was pressured throughout. She did not have the advantage in that race. She was ultra impressive, breaking her maiden first time out. She's been working well, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her come back. If she runs like she did during the championship meet, she will be much the best.
Yeah, I was really impressed with her debut victory, and she ran real good in her second start. And I just think that the barn is really good with this type of layoff. They're over 25% with the 61 to 180 day freshening. I have the 7 in second. You have it in third. Silver Fog beaten 1.5 lengths at this level in distance. That was back on May 9th, and now hoping to offer more after dueling for the lead last time out, weakening at the 8th pole to finish 4th, getting $16,000 optional claimers. Dan Peter, Edgar Zayas in the saddle. Looks like a logical contender in there. I could have put her in second. I could have put her in third.
Well, Awesome Ice finished behind her last time out, but I'm going to give her the advantage today because she was coming back from a long layoff that day. She returned from more than 6 months, finished 5th. Daughter of Awesome, of course, is stakes placed. Should be better second start back.
Yeah, she's got a bullet drill in 47 flat in preparation for this assignment today, so it looks like she's holding her form well and is going to run well. And don't forget, that is the first stanza of the Rainbow Six there, and we got our 3 selections up there. Sort of in agreement there, so are we going to go with just those 3? I'm going with those 3. I know my Rainbow Six ticket.
I think I would actually go 2 with my top 2, but I definitely see Silver Fog as well, but she disappointed me last time out.
Well, let's go to race number 6, and we're on the turf. It's a 1-mile maiden claim of fillies and mares, 3 and up, $12,500. Jockey change on the number 1. Make the rider Jonathan Gonzalez. We'll let you know about the main track onlys, 11 and 12, if they're out. We don't know that yet, but Pete Aiello, our track announcer, will be on right after us to update you on all the changes you need to get your Rainbow Six ticket together. Let's go back and show you a performance of the horse we both have on top of our ticket, and that's the number 5. You all talking to me?
You talking to me? He had a little bit of trouble last time out. We're going to take a look here. This is from March 6th, and he's going to have to steady, you'll see at the quarter pole. And there's quite a few horses here. Watch him take back. Just a lot of horses making a bid at the top of the stretch. He also gets fanned out pretty wide, but he's going to continue to make a run, and I was impressed by this after he was shut off quite a bit. And he's going to just get nosed out at the wire for 4th in this race. You know, it was just a very troubled performance. You see him there just behind the top 3, but there was a lot of action going on in that race. What I liked about this horse is that there's a lot of room for improvement. That was his first start. He's going to be making his second start today. He's dropping down, and he can get a better trip. Yeah, and it's Seppi Joseph Jr., and he's got Tyler Gaffleone. It sort of sounds like Tyler Gaffleone might have a good day if we're going to succeed with our Rainbow Six ticket today. The horse we both have in second to 1, Pat M's Image, will depart from the rail today. Broke from post 11 last time out, went up, tracked the pace, finished third against this same caliber competition, going 7.5 furlongs. Rodolfo Garcia claimed the last out. It's got Jonathan Gonzalez. That's the jockey change we announced in there. It's the daughter of Leroy Asanamu. So this horse, I'm expecting to run pretty well in there. Yeah, I am too. I liked the way she ran last time out. I like her pedigree, a daughter of Leroy Asanamu, and I think she's well suited to this spot. Yeah, and I went with the 7 horse in third, and that's Misty Phyllis. Stretching out to a mile after showing promise in her 7.5 furlong turf debut last out. This is trainer Ralph Zadie. That is Kirk Zadie's dad. Edgar Prouder returning on this daughter of Imperialism. If you look at the stats on Ralph Zadie, he's good with horses making his second start off a layoff. Of course, he doesn't run as many as his son. Now he's sort of semi-retired, I would say. I'm thinking his horse might be the sneaky in there. He's on the morning line at 12 to 1. That's a great value. I threw in the 6 Adar. who's also making her second start back off the layoff, was a neck behind Pat M's Image last time out after rallying from 5 wide, but I couldn't put her any higher than third because she's 0 for 21.
Well, you know, the 6th race is where the the pick 5 starts. That's also a mandatory payout today. So whatever comes down, if you have 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, and you get that one ticket or you share it with people, you're taking it down today. That's that mandatory payout. Race number 7 this afternoon, 5 furlongs, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds. We do have a couple of scratches in here of number 5, Unyielding Storm, and number 12, Yearbook. I went with the number 6 on top of my ticket. Katie went with the 4. Graphite Strike is I think the obvious choice to shed the maiden tag after running, I thought, a positive second. His career debut at this level and distance. Trainer Rohan Creton has Edgar Zayas named on the son of Wit Distinction. So we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Sort of like to go with the experience angle, especially if a 2-year-old runs well in its first start.
Absolutely. He's the logical choice. I'm taking a little bit of a chance here with the first-time starter from the Stanley Gold Barn, and that is Abercorn. He's a son of Brooks and Down, who was represented with a winner with his only other starter. He's a young sire. This one was entered last week, scratched in favor of this spot, and I just really like the work pattern and the connections. Has a strong 4 furlong breeze on June 10th and 48 flat, several 5 furlong works, and Jose Caraballo is going to ride today. Should be fit for the start.
Well, I really like our third pick in here, and there's a horse you got to watch, and that's the number 3, Prayer and a Song. Is a song of song and a prayer. You got that? This one is really training sharply in preparation for its career debut. Safi Joseph Jr., Tyler Gaffleone. If you look at the workout pattern on this horse, sitting up there at a really nice price, I think this horse can run well first time out, and I like the fact, of course, that Tyler Gaffleone's on, so you get a little break in the weights, but this horse's workout pattern makes you want to take a second look.
I wasn't expecting to see 8 to 1 on this horse. I really like that.
Yeah. Let's go to race number 8, and this one is back on the turf course. We mentioned at the top of the show the turf course is listed as firm. This is 7.5 furlongs. Claim is 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life or 3-year-olds, $12,500. Scratch the also eligible entrant. That's number 11. Excellent prospect, and you went with the number 1 horse in here, Ben Jacob. We're going to go back. I did not use him, and I want to see why.
Well, he had trouble last time out, and I'm going to give him another chance because of the trouble. This is from June 13th. Watch him on the first turn. He's the 10. Ben Jacob, he's not going to be hard to miss because he's going to be coming way out to the edge of the screen here. He's fanned about 7 wide on the first turn. He also gets bumped around a little bit on his hind end and gets just a little bit thrown off of balance. He had no chance that day. He had to run so much farther than everyone else, and he was the favorite. I think he can improve with a better trip and run like the favorite that he was.
Well, I went with the number 3 horse in here, Island Dude, and talking about hard luck, this is a hard luck son of Cowtown Cat who's finally trying to notch this condition after finishing a troubled 5th and a pair of turf outings at the distance. He lacked room during the stretch last time out, and then he was carried wide on May 17th. So I'm thinking with a clean trip in there, he is on the board at 9 to 2. I used the 7 Plant City Robin in second, and along with Katie in there, and we both used number 4. You Are So Perfect.
Yeah, this one's also going to look to rebound a little bit after finishing 5th in each of his 2 starts since breaking his maiden by 4 lengths in April. Just think he finds himself in a good spot today.
Well, here's an interesting thing. My long shot today is in this race. It's the number 9, Milton T. I looked down. It's the morning line favorite. Both of us didn't use this in our top 3 selections. I don't know if this horse is going to be the favorite in there. I looked through everybody's selections today. It wasn't picked a lot and everything like that, but it looks like the morning line maker is sharp and got this one right on top. So I used him on my Rainbow 6 ticket.
He was reading your mind, Ron. I did not use them, but could see him as a live long shot. I don't know if I'd bet him at 3 to 1, but this is one you're going to want to watch on the board to see what his numbers are as they go in the gate.
Absolutely. Let's go to race number 9 today. 7 furlongs, allowance optional claim of 3-year-olds and up. $62,500. Scratch number 2, Shining Power is in here, and we want to go back and show you a performance of the number 7 horse today, and this was up at Tampa Bay. Unstoppable You, another horse I did not use on my ticket today.
Well, he's on a 2-race win streak, and this is a horse with some back class. I remember this horse when he ran in the Belmont Stakes in just his 3rd career start, kind of rounded out of form. That might have been a really ambitious spot for him, being so inexperienced, but he's rounding back into form and was very game last time out in winning a $100,000 optional claimer up at Tampa Bay Downs. I think he can make the streak go to 3 today. He's been working really well here. I like the works over this racetrack. And Sandino Hernandez Jr., 27% with horses coming off of layoffs of this length. That was back in February.
Well, now that I see it, I like that pick. A horse they did not use, but you might want to go back and use it on the ticket. The horse that Katie has in second, I have on top, Louis Flowers, should be ready to score, I believe. Shipped in from Oakland Park into the Peter Walder barn and ran a positive third at this level and distance. We mentioned Peter Walder all the time. Second off the bench, he's really good. Edgar Zayas, named to ride in there. Horse that I have in second, Katie, is the one Master Blender. We have a lot of different picks in here today. We don't even agree with things. I went with Master Blender in second, and you went with the 4-horse Louis Flower. But what about the number 6 in here, Gyron?
Well, he's going to have the blinkers taken off today for trainer George Navarro. I like that angle. I like the connections. He does very well. Finished 5th against Similar last time out, but it was his first start in a couple months, so I thought he might be sharper today. But I think the others are a little bit better here.
Well, I think you got to use Fish Fan. That's the number 3 somewhere on your ticket. He's a previous winner at this 7-furlong distance. Stretches out. He shipped in from the fairground. He finished second to a Kirk Azadi trained horse called At Large. That was at 6 furlongs. To me, I go back. He looks like the speed in the race. And by this time of the day, or even by the 3rd or 4th race, before you put your Rainbow Six ticket together, if speed is holding, this is a horse you might want to have on your ticket.
I think that's a race where you definitely have to watch earlier than day and see how the track is playing. We just gave 5 of the 7 horses, so also go deep.
You go deep in there, like they say in football. Let's go to the 10th and final race on this exciting Sunday. 1 mile on the turf, allowance optional claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $25,000. So far, we have the scratch of the 12 and 13, and as I mentioned before, our track announcer, Pete Aiello, will be here to update you on all the scratches and changes you need. We both went with the number 10, Holiday Stroll, on the ticket. Tell me why you did.
Well, she's going to be looking for a 3rd straight win today for trainer Mike Maker. That right there, those two tallying up, that looks good to me. She was very impressive last time out in a $50,000 optional claimer. After stepping up from the $30,000 claiming ranks, I just don't see why she can and won't continue to do what she's been doing, especially since she's done it against tougher.
Well, she's my best bet of the afternoon for all the reasons you mentioned, and you'll see my Rainbow Six ticket. She's my single on the Rainbow Six ticket. I got a $64 ticket. I went deeper in those earlier races where it wasn't as positive, so I'm hanging my hat on number 10, Holiday Stroll. With that said, we both have the 2 in our second, Tactica Forever, who's cutting back to a mile. This one's looking to make every call a winning one, I believe. She's a speedy daughter, and she's going to be running really fast in here and trying to play Catch Me If You Can.
Well, her last and only win came at this relative distance, 7.5 furlongs a mile. Should be well spotted here, but I think the 10 is definitely the horse to beat, and I'm confident in that single for you, Ron.
Well, what about the number 4, Wild About Jazz, who we both use? This one is no slouch in the win department.
No, she's on a 2-race win streak for trainer David Brady. She most recently scored a game, a 3/4 length score when rallying between horses pretty impressively on May 1st at this level. Edgar Zayas was not aboard last time, but he was aboard for her 5-length score. 2 starts back and is going to reunite with her today.
And we mentioned yesterday, too, Dave Brady on fire lately. The barn has been going really well. Had another winner again yesterday, a race that came off the turf, turned back to 7. A horse run very impressively. So a barn you have to keep an eye on. Myself, I singled the 10 horse in there, Holiday Stroll. But if I had a couple more bucks in my pocket, I might add the 2 and the 4 too. So it all depends how you put your ticket together in here. I wanted to go deeper in the early races. I wasn't as convinced as I was with the 10. How did you see it?
I think that's a good strategy. I might go too deep in here and try to go a little lighter earlier. I think the middle races of the sequence you should go deep in. There are some challenging races there. But this race 10, this is also the super high 5 race, and there's a mandatory payout in there as well. We just gave you the top 3 because we're in complete agreement. You can go all and get a nice piece of that as well.
Yeah, no, as you mentioned, the mandatory payout. So we got the mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six, which starts in race number 5. We got the mandatory payout in the Pick 5, which starts in race number 6. And as Katie just mentioned, mandatory payout here in the Super High 5 in the last race. And you can mark this down and you can go back and check. When we have mandatory payouts, the money comes flying in. I'm telling you, there's going to be well over $1 million, I think, today in the Rainbow Six for sure.
I think it'd be a fun prop bet to kind of predict where it's going to go. But you can guarantee, like you said, there are going to be some big numbers, and we'll see how many people hit this thing at the end of the day. Always a really exciting time when we have these mandatory payouts.
Well, good luck with all your selections today, and we'll be back in just a little while.